How safe is the yogurt in your fridge right now? That creamy cup you thought was a healthy snack for yourself or your child might be hiding something dangerous. Imagine opening it, expecting freshness, only to discover later it contained harmful bacteria, traces of plastic, or allergens never listed on the label. Frightening, isn't it? Welcome to BizWorld Explorer, the channel where we uncover the hidden truths behind everyday products. In today's episode, we're exposing a disturbing reality. Aldi, Walmart, and 6 popular yogurt brands are facing recalls across the country. Trusted by millions of families, these brands built their image on health and reliability. But behind those cheerful labels and bright packaging lies a darker story of contamination, shortcuts, and risks most consumers never see coming. Stay with us as we break down the facts, brand by brand, and reveal the dangers you need to know. Brand 1. Aldi's Friendly Farms Yogurt. For millions of shoppers, Aldi is more than just a grocery store, it's a lifeline. The brand has built its empire on the promise that you don't have to spend a fortune to feed your family. Their Friendly Farms yogurt, in particular, has long been a symbol of this promise. Affordable, convenient, and marketed as a wholesome choice for health-conscious households. Parents tossed it into lunchboxes, college students grabbed it on the way to class, and countless families trusted the label without a second thought. But that trust is now cracking, much like the machinery that produced it. In a stunning turn of events, Aldi's Friendly Farms Greek-style yogurt has been recalled after customers reported finding metal fragments inside their cups. Think about that for a moment. Yogurt is supposed to be smooth, creamy, and safe. Yet unsuspecting families were greeted with sharp pieces of metal hidden in the very product they believed was nourishing them. Parents have described harrowing experiences: the sudden crunch of something jagged between their teeth, the shock of spitting out shards where there should have been only soft yogurt. One mother recounted how her young child nearly swallowed a fragment the size of a fingernail. In her words, "I thought I was giving my son a healthy snack. Instead, I almost sent him to the hospital." These stories transform yogurt from a harmless breakfast food into a lurking danger inside the fridge. How could this happen? Food safety experts point to poorly maintained machinery inside one of Aldi's contracted factories. Yogurt production requires massive equipment, mixers, fillers, and packaging lines that run day and night. When parts wear down or break, small fragments of metal can find their way into the final product. Normally, strict quality checks and metal detectors are supposed to catch these hazards before the food ever reaches store shelves. But when companies cut corners, delay repairs, or rush production, the safety net fails. And Aldi, despite its friendly marketing, is not immune to the hidden cost of cheapness. To keep prices low, the company relies heavily on outsourcing and cost-cutting measures. While this strategy might save shoppers a few dollars at checkout, the hidden risk is staggering. Machinery left unchecked, quality control rushed, and safety sacrificed. The recall of Friendly Farms yogurt isn't just about one bad batch. It's a symptom of a larger problem in the industry where affordability sometimes trumps responsibility. Adding insult to injury, Aldi continues to proudly display phrases like "farm fresh goodness" across its yogurt packaging. But the reality paints a far darker picture. Farms don't put metal shards in your food. Factories do, and slogans can't mask negligence. So what can concerned shoppers do? Experts recommend turning to smaller, local dairy brands or organic yogurts from farmers markets. While these may carry a slightly higher price tag, the peace of mind is priceless. At least with those options, you're more likely to get yogurt made with care, not shortcuts. The Friendly Farms recall is more than just an embarrassing headline. It's a warning, a reminder that even the most trusted brands can fail when profits are prioritized over safety. And for families across the nation, that warning came in the most unexpected form: a spoonful of yogurt laced with danger. Brand number 2, Walmart's Great Value Yogurt. Walmart is more than just a store, it's an American institution. For decades, families across the nation have flocked to its aisles in search of bargains that promise to stretch their paychecks a little further. At the heart of this empire is Walmart's private label, Great Value. It's marketed as a no-compromise alternative, the same quality as national brands, but at a fraction of the cost. The message is simple: Why pay more when Walmart gives you great value? But what if that so-called value comes with a hidden cost you never expected? Your health. Recently, Walmart's great value strawberry and blueberry yogurts were recalled after tests revealed Listeria monocytogenes contamination. To most shoppers, the name Listeria might sound like just another foodborne illness, but experts know it's one of the most dangerous bacterial threats lurking in our food supply. Unlike typical food poisoning, which causes a few miserable days of stomach cramps and nausea, Listeria attacks the body in ways far more sinister. Pregnant women face some of the gravest risks. Even a single contaminated cup of yogurt could trigger complications: premature birth, miscarriage, or life-threatening infection in newborns. Older adults and people with weakened immune systems are also highly vulnerable. What should have been a simple snack could turn into a trip to the emergency room, or worse. Picture this: a pregnant mother, exhausted from a long day, reaches for what she believes is a safe, convenient treat. She peels back the lid, stirs in the fruit, and takes a few spoonfuls without a second thought. What she doesn't know is that her late-night snack might carry bacteria capable of threatening both her health and her baby's future. The very product she trusted as nourishing becomes a silent danger. How did this contamination happen? Investigators suggest the problem likely occurred during storage and transport. Yogurt is highly sensitive to temperature control. If refrigeration is inconsistent, if a truck lingers in the heat for just a few hours or a warehouse cooling system fails, Listeria can multiply rapidly. And when companies prioritize speed, efficiency, and cutting costs over meticulous monitoring, safety falls through the cracks. This isn't an isolated case. Food safety watchdogs have long warned that the drive to cut corners in massive supply chains like Walmart's often leaves consumers vulnerable. When margins are razor thin, safeguards can be treated as optional rather than essential. The result? A chain reaction where mishandling at one stage can ripple all the way to your kitchen table. Walmart's branding may emphasize affordability, but when those savings end up exchanged for hospital visits, medical bills, and heartbreak, the price is far too high. So, what are the alternatives? Experts recommend looking toward yogurt brands that prioritize safety and transparency. Organic companies like Stonyfield and Siggy's have earned reputations for stricter safety checks, smaller scale production, and more careful oversight. Yes, you may pay a little extra at the register, but you're buying more than yogurt, you're buying peace of mind. The Great Value recall serves as a sobering reminder. Sometimes the cheapest option isn't the best one. When it comes to your health and the health of your loved ones, true value lies not in saving pennies, but in ensuring safety. Brand number 3, Aldi's Simply Nature Yogurt. For years, Aldi has promoted its Simply Nature line as the healthier, more wholesome alternative to mainstream products. With packaging decorated in soft greens and leaves, it whispers the promise of purity and care. The name itself, Simply Nature, suggests trustworthiness, something closer to the earth, something safe for families who want better choices. Parents who want to avoid artificial ingredients or questionable additives often reach for this yogurt, believing they're making a responsible decision. But recent recalls have shattered that image. Several batches of Simply Nature vanilla yogurt were pulled from shelves after tests revealed the presence of undeclared allergens, specifically peanuts. To the average shopper, this might sound like a minor slip, but for families dealing with allergies, it's not a small mistake. It's a nightmare. Picture this: a parent carefully choosing yogurt for their child who suffers from a severe peanut allergy. They double-check the label, relieved to see no mention of peanuts. Confident, they spoon the yogurt into a bowl, perhaps even praising Aldi for offering a healthier, trustworthy option. Minutes later, their child is struggling to breathe. Their lips swell, their throat tightens, and panic sets in as the family races to the emergency room. All because a product marketed as natural and safe carried a hidden danger that the label failed to reveal. Allergic reactions aren't just uncomfortable, they can be fatal. Doctors warn that even the tiniest trace of peanuts can trigger anaphylaxis, a condition where the body's reaction spirals out of control within minutes. Without immediate treatment, lives can be lost. This isn't just a recall, it's a betrayal of trust, one that could have lifelong consequences for families. So how did this happen? Food safety analysts suggest the problem lies in Aldi's reliance on bulk suppliers, many of them overseas. When products are mass-produced in sprawling facilities that handle multiple ingredients, the chances of cross-contamination rise significantly. Proper protocols are supposed to prevent this, but when production is rushed or quality checks are inconsistent, allergens can slip into products unnoticed. Labeling errors only make matters worse. Transparency, the very value Aldi promotes in its Simply Nature slogan, means nothing if the label in your hand doesn't tell the full truth. Families shouldn't need a magnifying glass or a laboratory to confirm whether their food is safe. The irony is almost painful. Simply Nature markets itself with phrases like transparency and quality, positioning the line as the clean, safe choice. Yet what could be less transparent than leaving life-threatening allergens off a label? For families navigating food allergies, experts recommend looking toward brands that specialize in allergy-safe products. Companies that not only follow stricter protocols, but also test more rigorously for contaminants. While these may be harder to find and cost more, they provide something priceless: security. The Simply Nature recall is more than a headline. It's a reminder that even products cloaked in the language of health and purity can hide dangerous flaws. In the end, trust isn't built by pretty packaging or slogans. It's built by honesty, accuracy, and safety. Qualities that this time, Aldi's Simply Nature failed to deliver. If you're finding this breakdown eye-opening so far, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel reach more viewers who need to know about these hidden dangers. And if you want to stay updated on future recalls and food safety investigations, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss an important warning about what could be sitting in your fridge right now. How to read your brand number 4, Walmart's Market-Side Yogurt Parfaits. When you walk into a Walmart, the Market-Side brand is designed to stand out. It's meant to look different from mass-produced, shelf-stable foods. Market-Side products sit in refrigerated cases, branded with the word fresh. For many shoppers, it feels like a safer, more wholesome option. Something closer to cafe quality, but at Walmart prices. Among the most popular items are the yogurt parfaits, neat little cups layered with creamy yogurt, sweet fruit, and crunchy granola. They're marketed as a quick grab-and-go snack, perfect for breakfast on the run or a mid-afternoon pick-me-up. The packaging practically whispers convenience and health. Parents toss them into shopping carts, believing they found a nutritious snack that's both affordable and safe. But the illusion of safety cracked literally when Walmart issued a recall on its Market-Side yogurt parfaits. The reason? Multiple reports of plastic shards inside the granola topping packets. This wasn't a harmless cosmetic flaw. Some shards were jagged enough to cut gums, while others were large enough to present a choking hazard. For adults, the danger was alarming. For children, it was terrifying. One parent described their horror after watching their child pull a bright red shard of plastic from their mouth mid-bite. The snack that was supposed to be fresh and safe nearly turned into a medical emergency. Imagine that moment, the sudden fear, the thought of what could have happened if the shard had been swallowed or lodged in the throat. It's the kind of scare no parent should ever face from something as ordinary as yogurt and granola. So how did plastic end up inside food marketed as fresh? Food safety experts explain that high-speed packaging lines are both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, they allow massive retailers like Walmart to churn out thousands of units per hour. On the other hand, they create the perfect conditions for accidents. When machinery breaks down, even slightly, pieces of plastic from belts, containers, or sealing equipment can splinter off and fall directly into the food. In theory, inspection teams and quality control checks should catch these contaminants before the products hit store shelves. But when workers are under pressure to meet strict quotas, deadlines often outweigh diligence. Corners get cut, inspections are rushed, and consumers end up paying the price. What makes this incident particularly unsettling is the branding itself. Market-Side is Walmart's attempt to give shoppers the feeling of restaurant-quality freshness. Yet when you peel back the lid and discover plastic shards in your granola, that fresh promise feels like a cruel joke. So what can concerned shoppers do? Food safety experts suggest a simple solution. Buy plain yogurt and add your own toppings at home. Fresh fruit, granola, or nuts can be mixed in within seconds, and you'll know exactly what's going into the cup. It may not come with the convenience of a grab-and-go parfait, but it gives you control and peace of mind. The recall of Walmart's market-side yogurt parfaits serves as yet another reminder. Flashy packaging and reassuring branding don't always equal safety. Sometimes the products that look the healthiest and freshest can conceal the sharpest dangers, literally. Brand number 5, Aldi's Earth-Grown Dairy-Free Yogurt. In recent years, dairy-free alternatives have become more than just a niche market. They're a lifeline for millions. Whether it's due to lactose intolerance, vegan lifestyles, or personal health choices, shoppers are seeking plant-based options that still deliver taste and nutrition. Aldi tapped into this growing demand with its Earth-Grown line, a range proudly marketed as clean and wholesome. Coconut-based and almond-based yogurts quickly became favorites for those avoiding dairy. With sleek packaging and promises of purity, Earth-Grown looked like the perfect alternative. But reality told a very different story. Several batches of Earth-Grown dairy-free yogurt were recently recalled after customers made disturbing discoveries. Mold contamination. Shoppers reported peeling back the lid of a freshly purchased yogurt, still well within its best-by date, only to be greeted by gray-green spots blooming across the surface. The shock of seeing mold on something marketed as fresh and safe left many questioning what else might be lurking unseen in their food. For some, mold might mean nothing more than tossing the cup in disgust and dealing with a day of nausea or stomach cramps. But for others, the risks are far more severe. People with compromised immune systems can develop serious infections from ingesting mold-contaminated food. And for those with mold allergies, even a tiny amount can trigger dangerous respiratory reactions, shortness of breath, swelling, or in extreme cases, life-threatening responses. What seemed like a harmless snack could quickly spiral into a medical crisis. So, how could such a failure occur? Food safety investigators point to improper sealing during packaging. Yogurt containers are supposed to be airtight, forming a protective barrier that prevents microorganisms from growing inside. If that seal is weak or broken, even slightly, air sneaks in, and mold finds the perfect environment to thrive. This isn't a complicated issue. It's food safety 101. Yet somehow Aldi allowed Earth-Grown batches with compromised seals to reach store shelves, exposing customers to unnecessary risks. The irony couldn't be sharper. Earth-Grown is marketed with slogans like clean and wholesome, suggesting purity and care at every step. But slogans don't stop mold from growing, and when something as basic as sealing containers properly is neglected, it raises bigger questions about the brand's commitment to safety. Was quality control overlooked in the rush to meet demand? Were cost-cutting measures prioritized over consumer protection? For shoppers who rely on dairy-free products, trust has been broken. Many turn to these alternatives not just for preference, but because they have no other choice. To hand them a product contaminated with mold is more than a simple oversight. It's a betrayal of that reliance. Food safety experts suggest that concerned consumers stick to smaller dairy-free brands with strong reputations for quality assurance. While they might come with a higher price tag, the peace of mind is worth it. At least then, you can be confident your dairy-free choice isn't hiding mold under the lid. The Earth-Grown recall serves as a chilling reminder. Even products that carry the label of clean and wholesome can fall short in the most basic ways. And when that happens, it's the consumer who pays the price. Brand number 6, Walmart's Sam's Choice Yogurt. Walmart's Sam's Choice brand has long been positioned as its premium line, an alternative meant to compete with the upscale products you'd find at boutique grocery stores. With sleek packaging, bold flavors, and a promise of higher quality, Sam's Choice was designed to reassure shoppers that Walmart could deliver more than just budget basics. But one recent yogurt recall, centered on its peach and mango flavors, shattered that illusion in dramatic fashion. Independent testing and consumer complaints revealed that several batches of Sam's Choice yogurt contained excessive yeast growth. On the surface, that might not sound alarming. After all, yeast is used every day in bread and beer. But when it shows up where it doesn't belong, in sealed yogurt cups, the results can be both revolting and dangerous. Customers who purchased the affected products reported strange swelling in the containers, sour-off flavors, and, most disturbingly, yogurts that exploded. The moment the lid was peeled back, some described a loud pop echoing through their kitchens as they opened a cup, followed by curdled yogurt spraying across counters, walls, and even their clothes. Others said they were hit with the stench of sour milk the moment the seal was broken, proof that something had gone terribly wrong in production. Food safety experts explain that uncontrolled yeast growth inside a sealed container triggers fermentation, which produces carbon dioxide gas. As the pressure builds, the yogurt swells until the plastic can barely hold it. That's why so many customers encountered balloon lids and dangerous splatters. While yeast itself isn't always harmful, its presence is an indicator of serious sanitation failures. Uncontrolled fermentation opens the door for harmful bacteria to flourish, especially if the product is already spoiled before refrigeration. For consumers, the recall was more than just inconvenient, it was unsettling. Yogurt is supposed to be one of the simplest, most wholesome snacks on the shelf. It's marketed as clean, refreshing, and safe for the whole family. Yet here were premium, branded cups that were, in some cases, spraying rotten dairy across kitchens. The contrast between expectation and reality could not have been sharper. The real issue goes beyond a few defective batches. When yeast growth reaches this level, it signals multiple points of failure: lax oversight during production, poor sterilization of equipment, and inadequate quality checks before distribution. These are not the kinds of errors that can be brushed off as one-off mistakes. They suggest a systemic problem in the supply chain and in Walmart's oversight of its premium label. Perhaps the most damning part of this incident is the betrayal of consumer trust. Sam's Choice isn't a discount brand, it's positioned as Walmart's guarantee of something better. Customers who pay extra for premium peach and mango yogurt expect higher quality, not explosive cups of fermented dairy. This scandal serves as a reminder that shiny packaging and a trusted retailer's name don't guarantee safety. At the end of the day, premium is just marketing. And in this case, it was marketing wrapped around one failure that literally blew up in customers' faces. The bigger picture. When you step back, a pattern emerges. Aldi and Walmart both cut costs by relying on massive supply chains, overseas production, and relentless speed. And every time something goes wrong, it's the consumer who pays the price, with hospital bills, allergic reactions, or shattered trust. These recalls are not just about yogurt. They're about what happens when corporations value profit over people. Today it's yogurt. Tomorrow it could be milk, cheese, or baby formula. So the question remains, how safe is the food in your kitchen right now? Thank you for watching BizWorld Explorer, where we bring you the stories corporations hope you never hear. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your health and your family's safety should never be left to chance. And here at BizWorld Explorer, we'll keep asking the tough questions because you deserve the truth. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.